Justin Brown. Today I will be showing you how to make an Asian stir fry with a lot of Asian influences and using a lot of fresh vegetables, whole grain, we got some brown rice, and just a lot of different unique ingredients. So we're also going to be using tofu, which I know a lot of times people don't really have a lot of experience with.
What is tofu made of?
Tofu is made out of soy protein. So it's a process where they take soybeans and they boil them, and they go through this big process, and they end up pressing the curd and straining out all the water, and you have this very firm tofu. But this is actually extra firm tofu. You can get just firm tofu, which is a little looser. You can get soft tofu, which has more has a higher water content, which allows you to do a variety of things. So for what we're doing today, we're going to be using a julienne cut on all our vegetables. That way everything is an even cooking.
What's a julienne cut?
A julienne cut, it's a great question. So it's just going to be a thin slice. The technical dimension is an 1/8 inch by 1/8 inch by 2 inches. But for this purpose, just a thin slice. So I'm going to show you how to do that with the tofu right here. And you're just going to cut it in half for this purpose, right? Until you get like a little rectangle, pretty thin. And then you can just go across the sides to get thin little slices. Now, would anyone like to come up and try to cut some tofu?
I'll try, Juliana.
Oh yeah, come on, Alex. So, there you go, here's a knife. Beautiful knife skills.
I bet it's on the corner.
Yeah, and some classy knife skills. Great job. Beautiful, thank you so much. And then what I also have here is some endive. It's a type of cabbage. It's just, cabbages are great. Like we got some bok choy. You can use just regular cabbage. They're great fillers for dishes. They're really nutrient dense. They're really cheap. They're really just awesome to put in. Okay, and a lot of the times, if you're in an Asian restaurant or a professional kitchen, they'll have these big metal things called woks. So for these purposes, we're not going to use this because it's large. But it's designed very thin, so it gets hot really, really quick. And it's a quick frying technique. So you just add your oil in, and then you quickly add just about, you add your hard root vegetables first, like your carrots, and then you add things that don't take so long to cook. But everything, the entire dish should be done in like 2 minutes tops. And then we also have this fancy ladle here, which we're going to call the Asian ladle. And so that's that. So if you're not using a wok and you're using just a regular saute pan, you're going to want to get it hot, like screaming hot, to the point where when you put oil in it, it's instantly smoking, and that way you get your really quick hard sear on your vegetables, your hard vegetables first. We're actually going to do the tofu first. The tofu is pretty flavorless. It's got a very weird texture. So if you put a hard sear on it and get it nice and crispy, it would be something that a lot more people could relate to. Alright.
Isn't that gonna set off my smoke alarms?
It's possible, but it's possible. Just turn your smoke alarm off.
Or maybe open a window if there's one nearby.
Yeah, I don't know. I always took the battery out at home, Just have to take the battery out, put it back. So we're adding the oil.
What kind of oil do you use?
So we're going to use canola oil. It's actually a 75-25 blend, 75% canola, 25% olive oil. So the canola oil has a high smoking point, which means it gets really hot without burning. And the olive oil that's in there has a lower smoking point, but that's going to add a lot of flavor, which is really great for this purpose. Everyone likes, good food and whatnot. So while that's getting hot, just talk about some of these aromatics that I have here.
What's an aromatic?
Great question. So an aromatic is, well, as the name implies, it's something that has a lot of aroma. So these are where generally we're going to get a lot of our flavor from. And here we have ginger, lemongrass, garlic, and just a little bit of lemon zest for that added flavor, which is
What do you mean by zest?
zest. So the lemon skin, it's when you cut open the lemon and you have just this yellow part here. So when you cut open the lemon and you have the pulp and then you have the white rind, which is no good, but this yellow part out here still holds a lot of flavor. So you can actually just take that off, and that is what we call zest. It's got a lot of flavor, but it doesn't have any pulp.
How do you do that?
So you could use a knife, and you could just brush it down. You could use a peeler. There's a specific tool called a zester if you happen to have one of those.
I couldn't find lemongrass at my local supermarket. What would be a good alternative ingredient?
The great thing about cooking is, you don't have to have all these ingredients. If you think of something that you want to do, and you want to add, you like spicy food, and you want to add peppers to it instead of lemongrass, go for it. So, pan is getting nice and hot here, so we're going to go ahead and add tofu. Whenever you're putting something in hot oil, you're going to want to be careful that it does splash. Just be wary of that. So whenever you put something in, you're going to want to put it in away from you. That way, any potential oil will splash away from you and hopefully not on anyone else. So what we're looking for on the tofu is this dark brown color. You're going to want it to be a little crunchy. Bunsen burners don't get as hot as ideally you would like it for this, so it might take just a little bit longer.
What happened to your finger?
I wasn't practicing safe knife cutting skills, but thanks for bringing that up.
So when working with a softer tofu, you want to pat it dry, so you don't have to make sure that the oil and the water is going together and it's slushy.
Yes, but it also depends on what you're doing with it. So if you're making something like, you can make scrambled eggs with soft tofu, instead of using eggs, you're using the tofu. So you're not exactly going to want to squeeze out the water, but if you needed a firmer tofu and all you had was soft tofu, you can absolutely do that. Press it out and make it firmer yourself.
Why did you choose tofu?
What's that?
Why did you choose tofu?
So tofu is a very unique protein. I mean, most times when we think of protein, we think of beef, chicken, but tofu is a great alternative that's not a living animal. So a lot of people will like this because it's just different. It's a vegetarian. You can just do a lot of things with it. It's very versatile. So when we have this color on there, we're going to go ahead and add our vegetables. So we got some carrots and daikon. Daikon is this Asian root vegetable, which is similar to the carrot, parsnips, in the Asian variety. And then once that gets nice and soft, we're going to go ahead and add our onions and bell pepper and our mushroom. And then at the very end, we're going to add our cabbage, our sauce for our seasonings, And our sauce is a combination of soy sauce and rice wine vinegar. So it gets a little bit of acidity and just a lot of flavor. At this point, we're also going to want to add our aromatics. You don't want to add the aromatics too soon because they'll burn. It doesn't take them a very long time to cook, so you don't want to put it in too soon. Is there any questions so far?
I have a question.
Sure.
I don't have a whole lot of money for my family's food budget. This is a lot of vegetables. Which ones would be the most important to get that would maybe not cost as much?
That is a great question. Typically, you know, people when they think green vegetables, they think high in nutrients, which is good, which is true, but really any vegetable is that can fit in your budget, as long as it's some kind of vegetables, whether it's, you know, local vegetables at a farmer's market, it's local vegetables in just your local shop. Anything like that is going to be better than processed food. It's going to be better than, it's just going to be better than like fast food, McDonald's, that kind of thing.
Are canned vegetables okay and frozen vegetables?
Absolutely. If that's, it's a great alternative for people who don't have the necessary money to buy fresh ingredients all the time, which is absolutely fine.
What about frozen vegetables? Are they as nutrient dense as well?
So when you're buying frozen vegetables, you're going to want to look for IQF vegetables, which means individually quick frozen, which means that they're going to be the most preserved nutrients, and that's what you're going to want. But you can also buy already cooked vegetables, such as steamed vegetables and whatnot, which are just as good.
Thank you.
So while this is going, I'm going to go ahead and add the bok choy and the cabbage. I'm going to add our sauce. You can also add nuts, such as peanuts, for added protein, extra flavor. It just makes it all around healthier. Now, does anyone have an allergy to nuts?
Did you toast those?
I did not toast them. These are in the raw. I think that they're much better, and because we have an allergy in the audience, we're going to omit them from the video.
That's okay. I won't eat any.
So, we're also going to want some rice, which is a whole grain. Here we have brown rice.
How do you cook rice?
So, great question, but we're running out of time, so I'm going to obey your question.
Talk to him after.
Yeah, I'll talk to you after. So, so the rice is here. It's a great grain. It's cheap. It's affordable. It's nutritious. When you're choosing rice, you're always going to want to choose brown rice because that's where all the nutrients are going to be. So then we're just going to go ahead and put this over the top. With some sesame seeds. And then we also have some sesame oil, which you could add just a little bit on top for a little extra flavor. And that's that. A tofu stir fry.